This video isn't about retiring early. It's about exiting a system that no longer works. Imagine working for 40 years, doing everything you were told, and still reaching your late 60s with fear instead of freedom. No beach, no rest, just a quiet panic about money. That's not a rare story. That's the future for most Americans. And today, we're going to talk about why. Welcome to Financial Underpinnings. Let me start with a hard truth. The idea of a comfortable retirement in America is quietly dying. Not because people are lazy, not because they didn't try, but because the entire system has shifted underneath them, and most people didn't even notice it happening. Picture this. You're 67 years old. Your knees hurt. Your back hurts. You've worked since you were 22, and you check your retirement account. The number staring back at you? Maybe $80,000, maybe $120,000 if you're lucky. Sounds like a lot, until you realize you could live another 20 or even 25 years. That's $5,000 a year, before inflation, before health care, before rent. This isn't a made-up example. According to the Federal Reserve, nearly half of Americans aged 55 to 64 have less than $100,000 saved for retirement. Half. Let that sink in. Now, think about how expensive life already feels right now. Groceries up, rent up, insurance up, healthcare costs exploding, and somehow we're supposed to believe Social Security will save us. Here's the reality. The average Social Security benefit is about $1,900 a month. That's roughly $23,000 a year. Try paying rent, food, utilities, transportation, and medical bills on that. You can't, and millions of Americans already are. I once spoke to a man named Dave. Not famous, not rich, just average. He worked in logistics for 35 years, never missed a paycheck, put money into his 401k when he could, but life kept interrupting. Kids, medical bills, layoffs. By the time he retired, his savings ran out faster than he ever imagined. Today, he works part-time at a hardware store at 71, not because he wants to, because he has to. And Dave's story is becoming normal. The retirement crisis didn't come from nowhere. Decades ago, pensions were common. You worked, the company rewarded loyalty, a guaranteed income for life. That system is almost gone, replaced by 401ks. Sounds good on paper. In reality, it shifted all the risk onto the worker. Market crashes? Your problem. Poor investment choices? Your problem. Longer life expectancy? Your problem. Employers cut costs, Wall Street collected fees, and regular people were told, just save more. But how do you save more when wages barely move? Since the late 1970s, worker productivity in the U.S. has more than doubled. Wages? They've barely kept up with inflation. Housing alone tells the story. In 1980, the average home cost about 3 times the average income. Today, it's closer to 6 or 7 times. Rent follows the same pattern. So what happens? People use credit cards, they take loans, they tap retirement accounts early, and that destroys compounding. One early withdrawal can erase years of progress. By the time people hit their 50s, many are still paying off debt instead of building wealth. Credit card debt among Americans aged 55 and older has more than doubled in the last 20 years. That's not bad behavior, that's survival. And then there's health care. This is the silent killer of retirement plans. Even with Medicare, the average retired couple may need over $300,000 just to cover medical expenses throughout retirement. That doesn't include long-term care. One serious illness can wipe out savings overnight. I want you to think about this. What happens if you can't work and you can't afford to stop working? That's the trap millions are heading toward. So let me ask you something. Do you personally feel confident about your retirement right now? Or does it feel like a distant hope you're afraid to calculate? Drop a comment. I want to hear your honest answer. Another question. Did your parents retire comfortably, or are they still working or struggling? Because that pattern often repeats. Now, here's the uncomfortable part. Most Americans don't fail at retirement because they didn't earn enough. They fail because the system quietly changed the rules. Inflation eats savings. The market rewards patience, but life punishes it. And financial education is almost non-existent. Schools teach algebra, but not compound interest. People don't realize that saving late means saving exponentially more. If you start at 25, small contributions grow huge. Start at 45, and even large contributions struggle to catch up. According to Vanguard, the median 401k balance for people aged 65 and older is around $88,000. That's the median, not the bottom. That's the middle. And that money is supposed to last the rest of your life. No wonder retirement anxiety is skyrocketing. Surveys show more than 70% of Americans fear running out of money more than they fear death itself. That tells you everything. Retirement used to be about rest. Now it's about endurance. So what happens next? Many Americans delay retirement. The average retirement age is rising. More seniors are working than ever before, not because they love it, but because they can't afford not to. Others downsize, move in with family, skip health care, ration medication. These are real trade-offs happening every day in one of the richest countries in the world. And here's the thing no one likes to say out loud. This problem is going to get worse. Social Security faces funding shortfalls. By the mid-2030s, benefits may be reduced if nothing changes. The population is aging. Fewer workers support more retirees, and politicians keep kicking the can down the road. So where does that leave you? This channel isn't about fear, it's about awareness, because understanding the problem is the first step to protecting yourself. Retirement comfort now requires intentional planning, early action, and a brutal honesty about numbers, not hope, not vibes, math, and mindset. Let me ask one more question. Do you think retirement, as our parents knew it, is even realistic anymore? Or do you believe most people will work in some form for life? Comment below. I read every single one. If this conversation matters to you, if you want real talk about money, systems, and how they affect your future, make sure you subscribe to Financial Underpinnings. This channel exists to talk about what others avoid, because silence is expensive. In the next video, we're going to break down the exact strategies the system doesn't advertise, the moves that separate people who survive retirement from those who suffer through it. And once you see them, you'll never look at retirement the same way again.